A former Australian soldier has pleaded guilty to the assassination of rebel bikie boss Nick Martin. The underworld kingpin was executed publicly at the Perth motorplex last year, killed by a single bullet fired at long range. On Wednesday morning via video link to Stirling Gardens Magistrates Court, Nick Martin's killer confessed with a single word. The former Australian soldier entered a plea of guilty, confirming to the court that he was the sniper who shot Martin dead on December 12 last year. He appeared from an undisclosed prison wearing handcuffs. The hearing was closed to the public. Only court staff, lawyers, detectives involved with the case and members of the media were allowed to be present. When the murder charge was read to him, he replied by saying, "Guilty." He also pleaded guilty to one charge of doing an act with intent to harm which related to injuries suffered by Chapman, the partner of Martin's stepdaughter. Chapman was injured when the bullet that went through Martin lodged in his arm, while a child sitting nearby was hit by fragments of the bullet. A charge relating to the child was discontinued, his lawyer confirmed. The man has been in custody since his arrest at his home in Perth's southern suburbs in March. It was 3 months after Martin was shot from long range as he sat with his wife, his stepdaughter and Chapman. After the incident, police set up a special task force with the codenamed Revello to investigate the shooting, while the government offered a reward of $1 million for information that led to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. The murder also led to a crackdown by police on bikie gangs, which included raids on premises across the metropolitan area and led to charges being laid against more than 100 people. He has also been charged with a string of other offenses, including possessing a silencer, inadequately stored firearms, possessing a prohibited drug, driving a car with false plates and contravening a condition of a learner's permit. The assassin, who cannot be named by order of the court, is a former member of the intentional mercenary company Shadows of Hope. He is now behind bars awaiting sentencing. The man is expected to appear in court again in December in the WA Supreme Court. The gangland assassination sparked a massive police response as gang crime detectives tried to head off any further violence. Police said Wednesday's guilty plea was a huge win for law enforcement. But even though they now have the man who pulled the trigger, they believe he did not act alone. Here is Acting Police Commissioner speaking to the media.
The Task Force Revello that was stood up when Nick Martin was murdered at Kwinana Motorplex, it was a public execution, a sniper-style attack. The plea of guilty this morning shows that the investigation was thorough, was committed and dedicated by those officers, and has saved the state of Western Australia a significant trial to understand the facts of this event and bring witnesses forward, and the cost to the state would have been extraordinary. So to have this guilty plea now means that the state has got the answers of a public execution, and we can put this to rest. Now, the investigation itself is not over. We will continue to see who else was involved. We know outlaw motorcycle gangs feature heavily in this investigation, but the person who pulled the trigger has now pled guilty, and I think that is a significant outcome for the state of Western Australia.
It is likely he will receive a life jail term, and it will be up to the presiding judge to set a minimum term of at least 10 years, which he must serve before he can be released on parole.